is senior writer for the Heritage Foundation and a fellow at the Independent Women's Forum. Kelsey, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so let's start with the governor. This morning, the editorial board of the Washington Post is calling for Ralph Northam, who says that's not him in the picture. They're calling on him to quit anyway.
Right. Well, if you follow the Democrats' own standards that they have mapped out for us, all three of them should resign. Specifically, the governor, it's important to remember where this controversy started with those infanticide comments, a very cavalier attitude towards a woman who is in the process of giving birth. Democrats want to avoid that conversation. But if this were happening on the Republican side, where you had KKK costumes and blackface coming up in medical school yearbooks, and you had yet another instance of this coming from the Virginia Attorney General, they would be questioning the entire values that the Republican Party stands for. But because this is Democrats, it's just a few bad apples, and they're not using it. Nobody's using it to delegitimize or question the actual values that conservatives stand by. But I want to be clear that I think these two instances are linked, the comments about infanticide and these racist histories, because it really reflects a lack of dignity and respect for the individual human being.
Well, I mean, I agree with you. This whole dressing up and blackface, we know anchors has got in trouble for it. We remember years ago Ted Dancing dating Whoopi Goldberg showed up at some event in blackface. Everyone thought, Whoopi Goldberg thought it was hysterical. Things have changed. But if you want to make sweeping condemnations of others, then you have to wonder if you're going to hold yourself to the same standard. And when you do, it seems like three people have failed miserably. And now when it comes to Fairfax, the lieutenant governor, you got to let this whole situation play out. But that wasn't the case with Brett Kavanaugh. Remember when Democrats said this when he was accused about something that happened in 12th grade?
Not only do women like Dr. Ford, who bravely comes forward, need to be heard, but they need to be believed. I just want to say to the men of this country, just shut up and step up. Do the right thing.
Let me just say right at the outset, I believe Dr. Ford. I believe the survivor here.
I believe her. She is credible. She should be heard.
I believe her.
I believe Professor Ford. I think she's credible.
Double standard?
Absolutely a double standard. There's a double standard in the Washington Post decision to sit on this allegation. They had this allegation from Fairfax a year ago and decided not to move forward and publish it. And yet they had an allegation about Brett Kavanaugh with actually less corroboration and less evidence than we have in the Fairfax case. And they decided to move forward and publish that and make that the leading story for months going through that confirmation process. So I think this is really exposing the media for how biased they really are. And then there's an absolute double standard on behalf of Democrats who have been telling us for the past 6 months, #BelieveAllWomen. Well, why isn't anybody believing this woman now?
Yeah, we need to remember we have to have the same standard now as we did during the Kavanaugh hearing. You're innocent until proven guilty. Thank you so much, Kelsey, for being with us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.